This had been a long time coming, and there were obvious warning signs showing that this would be the inevitable conclusion. Bernie Sanders has finally announced that he is suspending his campaign. That's right, he is no longer running for President of the United States under the Democratic ticket. And this is such big news considering that Bernie Sanders was such a major rival candidate against Joe Biden, who remains as the Democratic establishment's favorite candidate for the nomination. Bernie Sanders' support was so big, and it obviously showed very early in the primaries. He managed to surprise everyone, the Democrats and the mainstream media, by overtaking Joe Biden and becoming frontrunner for the Democratic nomination, at least for a time. Joe Biden, on the other hand, was struggling in terms of total number of delegates, keeping at third or fourth place. But then came the South Carolina primary and, of course, the March 3rd Super Tuesday primaries. Those two events allowed Joe Biden to get his campaign on track, to acquire enough delegates to overtake Bernie Sanders and regain his position as the frontrunner. Ever since then, Bernie Sanders and his campaign had been going downhill from there. He has been losing support. And by the time that he was going to suspend his campaign, he was behind Joe Biden by over 300 delegates. I'm willing to bet that I'm willing to bet that, considering that he had fewer options, that he hoped that future primaries, such as the Wisconsin primary, would have helped him regain some new energy within his own presidential campaign. But that was obviously not going to be the case, and it shows within the Wisconsin Democratic Party polls. According to Project 538, and I have it here on my computer. On April 6, 2020, this is when the poll came out, Biden was ahead 52.3%, while Bernie Sanders was struggling at 35 to 36%. There was no way that Bernie Sanders could have regained his support. There was no way that he could have re-energized his campaign. And because of that, he has finally decided on Wednesday that he was suspending his campaign. That means with Bernie Sanders gone, there are no more candidates opposing Joe Biden. And now he is the presumptive Democratic nominee. But that only creates new problems because, as we already know, Joe Biden has a lot of issues as well. I mean, Bernie Sanders, he definitely had his issues, especially with being a socialist, and a lot of people, especially moderates and some people within the Democratic Party, did not like that. But Joe Biden, with his dementia and some other obvious issues, especially with ties to the establishment, it's going to be hard for Joe Biden to have a united party because Bernie Sanders has had a major amount of support behind him, and a lot of that support is definitely uncompromising. They wanted Bernie Sanders to become the nominee. So many people wanted Bernie Sanders to remain in the race for such a long period of time that possibly it would have led to a brokered convention. I don't know if that would have been possible or not, but nonetheless, it's with Bernie Sanders out of the way, Joe Biden is now going to be the presumptive nominee. And a lot of those people without that, who did not like the idea of Joe Biden becoming the nominee, are either going to either not going to vote at all, write a third-party name, or maybe even Bernie Sanders, if the ballot box allows them to, or even some people have been saying that some Bernie bros would actually vote for Donald Trump instead of Joe Biden just to piss off the Democrats. This alone causes a major amount of a lot of problems for Joe Biden because he has to deal with two issues. He is being forced to fight on two fronts. He's trying to keep his party together. He's trying to get as many far left voters and Bernie bros to support him as much as possible. And he's going to need to try to appeal to the moderates, who are the biggest are definitely going to be definitely the biggest bloc within the United States who you need to get to vote for you, because whoever wins moderates wins the election. And considering that that Joe Biden is fighting on both fronts at this point with trying to have a united party, it's going to be very difficult for him. Plus, let's not forget the fact that Donald Trump has been doing pretty well within the polls, especially with the coronavirus. I mentioned before in my previous videos that a majority of Americans have actually approved of how well the president has been doing in terms of his response to the coronavirus, and it obviously shows with his presidential approval moving up to over 47%, which many say is actually the magic number for gaining re-election. This obviously, Joe Biden is having a lot of difficulty at this point, and this is even before I get into the idea of debates. In all honesty, Joe Biden is not going to do well in debates. At least that's why predict. I think that he's going to be having a hard time. He's going to be rambling on, and there's going to be some issues with his alleged dementia. I don't know if he has dementia, but there are definitely symptoms of something being wrong with Joe Biden. And I'm pretty sure that thanks to those issues, Donald Trump is going to take advantage, and he's going to wipe the floor with Joe Biden. Donald Trump will definitely win those debates, and he is definitely going to show how bad of a candidate Joe Biden is, and he's going to gain Donald Trump is going to gain those moderates. That's what I think. Hell, it doesn't even help that considering the state of Joe Biden he's in, that a lot of people are wondering who his VP pick is going to be. He did mention a little bit within the Democratic primary debates about how he may choose a woman for vice president. A lot of people have actually joked that he may choose Hillary Clinton. Oh my God, I hope that's not the case. But then again, a part of me wants that to happen because it would be kind of funny, and in a way, it would be 2016 all over again. But oh my God, I'm already thinking about that in my head. Just the idea of Hillary Clinton being chosen as the VP, and the possibility, and should Joe Biden win, and considering his states, Hillary Clinton may become president by default without actually winning the election. Something that I hope that never happens, but nonetheless, a lot of people are definitely talking about that. Whoever Joe Biden's VP pick is going to be, is definitely going to have a huge amount of effect on his campaign. Because, like I said before, his own mental state. But at this point, it's going to be very hard that Joe Biden is going to be choosing his VP nominee, and how well he's going to be doing the debates, even though that he already is the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party. I think he's already lost before the election even started. He is not as well liked. He is not very popular. He's definitely has links to the establishment, which a lot of people do not like. And it's definitely going to be something similar to 2020 all over, or not 2020, 2016 all over again. A lot of people have been saying that Donald Trump is currently running unopposed at this point. I am definitely agreeing. With Bernie Sanders out of the way, Joe Biden may be the presumptive nominee, but now he has to deal with fighting on two fronts, trying to keep his party aligned, trying to get the moderates. Plus, he has to deal with the inevitable confrontation with Donald Trump and his definitely major important choice of picking his VP. And considering all of that, I think that Joe Biden is going to lose big time coming November on Election Day. My name is Noah Meehan on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share with friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding my videos, such as how I frame them, how I speak, any other improvements you want me to make, or any subjects you want me to talk about, please be sure to post them down in the comment section down below or directly message me. Thank you.
Almost